All right, guys. I know we normally love to have a tour of a CCRC retirement community. This year, obviously, with the COVID-19 bug going around, that's just not going to happen. So I thought I would grab my iPad and would give you a virtual tour of the Carrington at Lincolnwood, the new generation in senior living. So we're outside. I don't know. You can see the little covered area there. That's actually surrounded the dog park, and so dogs get to retire here at the Carrington as well. We got some of the parking, some of the landscaping, and you begin to see some of the exterior of the building. And yeah, there are some buildings with some balconies. It's a huge campus. You can just barely make out. The red area is where the swimming pool is, and beyond that is the assisted living. That 10-story building is not ours. But again, coming around, a very handsome building. Just for comparison's sake, across the street there, that looks like a 6-story building is our primary competition, Lincolnwood Place. That is a CCRC with a relatively modest entrance fee. It's been around for 25-30 years. So we euphemistically say that's where your mom and dad retired, but the Carrington is where you want to retire. Kind of coming around with the main entrance, you can kind of see there's a little bit of parking. Note, for instance, there's not much signs. We frequently know that people are concerned about moving into a retirement community, that they're going to be having to follow a whole bunch of rules. And so some communities have them, like don't park here 5 minutes, don't do this, park, what to do and what not to do. We choose not to. We've got just the accessible spaces, and that's it. Again, about 70% of the units here have balconies. We've got the huge bus overhang, which is nice when it's raining, but when it's cold, wet, this is the Windy City, Chicago. When we come inside, when we're outside letting the bus off and the winds are blowing, it's not uncommon for everybody to get wet, just simply because it sometimes will rain sideways here. So again, rest of the buildings, as a reminder, we're about 60% occupied right now. But most of the units with the balconies have been the quick sellers. So here we go. We're entering into the main lobby. It is a lot warmer in here. As we said, the key to every community is having a wonderful concierge. This is Yasina. She's a college student as well, and she works in not one but 2 retirement communities. She mans the concierge desk, which is kind of a jack of all trades. Whatever residents need, they come into. We've got a couple things going on in transition here. This used to be the marketing offices, some prime piece of real estate. The problem is, of course, when the marketing team comes down, when somebody comes to see marketing, they don't see them in their offices. So what we do is we end up using them primarily just to make phone calls. It's such a high profile, high piece of real estate. We'd rather have activities down here. And during the COVID crisis, we have kind of created a little general store as well. It's got a lot of different items in here. Primary purpose is that We don't want people going to the store. So you can see a lot of snacks, a lot of distilled water, toilet paper, a lot of the essentials, odds and ends. But that's done some pretty good business. So again, when you're coming in, greeted by the concierge. We have right now, with all visitors signing in, the policy, everybody has to get hand sanitized and they get their temperature taken as well. So as you're coming in, this is kind of the left side of the lobby. You can see on one hand, interestingly, it's the flooring is kind of wood. We have coffee machine with juice bar and different types of coffee, the faux fireplace, and the TV, which gets used. Again, it's a good size, goes up 2 stories, brings in a lot of natural light, and generally, in terms of creating a first impression, it does the job. This side is a little bit more formal. It's got the carpeting, and it's got some of the more, Carrington is known for some of its artwork as being very unconventional in terms of senior housing. We get so many people here, or so many senior housing communities seem to have the very traditional, the very, the pictures of the barns and things like that. We, on the other hand, have got a lot of splashes of color, which is an interesting backdrop with the fireplace and some of the other artwork pieces. And again, we've got a reputation, and this is why we say we're kind of a different type of retirement community. So we're just kind of coming around here. That's where we were just about 5 minutes ago. So we got another fake fireplace, more artwork, the books. It's just an area which gets, again, it gets used a lot. It's kind of the comfortable den. Not uncommon to have residents coming down here throughout the day. I do want to get into here. Hire this camera guy. I want to show you the discovery room, because again, I know many of you have taken marketing classes, and we kind of hear all the different, what about a discovery room? It's a relatively simple, and this is really where the marketing team engages the potential clients. You can kind of see here is the overview of the campus. Right where that star is the main entrance. I just walked in. We're about halfway down towards independent living. You can kind of see there's a couple actually 4 courtyards as we count them. The 5th one is in the memory care AL. It's a pretty good sized campus. And then here's all the floor plans, with the blue dots being where we've either sold them or we've got a commitment. I'll take you over here to the floor plans. The Sullivan, which is our studio apartment. A lot of people would call that a 1-bedroom, but we call it the studio here. The Purcell is kind of one of our bread and butter units. You can see it's got the bedroom, the walk-in closet, the bath, the living room, no balcony, but the kitchen. The Burnham here is kind of a deluxe unit. It has both the balcony, it's got the bedroom, and I believe it has 2 baths. I guess not. Just yeah, because it's kind of connected there. The right is the largest unit. This is the one that seems to wow everybody. Balcony, living room, It does have 2 bedrooms on either side. And then finally, the Jenny. Again, 2 bedrooms. They've got the living room, got the walk-in closets. It's got the kitchen, does not have a balcony. Some of the artwork, we normally would expect to find it a little bit more upbeat and positive. It's just one of those things about the Carrington that it's and again seems to be working. We've made quite a few sales here, and finally the let me get this. Yeah, we got to load up the touchdown, may come back to that later, but it does have the activities, the dining menus, and the announcement. By the way, because of the COVID-19 crisis, we have not been actively marketing. But again, with some of these, with some of the different announcements, temporary pool closing, etc. All about the COVID. Let's go ahead and move on. We got some ground to cover. This is the main dining room that you kind of come walking into. Normally, it would be chock full of furniture, but in this particular case, again, because of the COVID, access to the kitchen is back there. Some of the artwork, but everything's been cleaned, sanitized, and scrubbed down. We are not allowed to have serve meals for any groups larger than 10 people, and it may be quite some time where those rules are going to be in effect. So we just find it easier to kind of just leave the dining room kind of shut down like this, but as we said, everything's been cleaned. Down the one corridor is primarily just apartments on the first floor. There's also access to one of the parking garages there. Mailroom. We like to have those mailboxes as low as possible for the seniors to access. We have a lot of these hand sanitizers throughout the building. Not very well lit, but I think you can still see. This is the Tui bar. We do have an alcohol license here. Again, shut down because of the COVID. Just a nice area for people to congregate. And then over here is just the bistro. This is a room we're going to be repurposing. We really felt that we could have done a better job with some of the level of finishes here. So yeah, we'll be all right. Up ahead, hi there.
Hi there.
Let's see. We use the key system here. Unless we disable it because of the COVID, and we don't want residents going inside the room. Again, good size fitness. Got some of the state-of-the-art equipment for the seniors. Not uncommon to see during better times 6 to 8 seniors down here exercising. We have some of the classes as well that get well attended. The obviously, oops. We do have an Olympics, well, not quite an Olympic size, but pretty good size swimming pool. It is salt water. It's not chlorine. And that salt water essentially is better for the skin on the seniors. The chlorine can cause some skin problems. But again, very nice pool. It goes from 3 feet to 4 feet 6 inches. And yeah, we do have residents from all levels of care, including memory care, who attend that. All right. So we're going to walk out of the fitness center. And yeah, just so you know, it's 7:10 at night. We may see a few people along the way, but for the most part, part of sheltering in place means people are generally trying to get into bed a little bit early. So we get another residential corridor. There are 11 elevators on the property. We have the notices throughout, just encouraging people, please stay inside. So again, second floor with some of the corridors. You can kind of see there's color coded down each one of the, to kind of help with the orientation. First activity room is creative arts. There he is. Believe it or not, a lot of textile sewing work has taken place here in Chicago, and quite a few people worked in that industry, and so we see this arts and craft room has kind of became a sewing activity room, which again, we're okay with that. It gets used. We get a lot of different activity up there, and we use it to help promote the community. Matter of fact, the residents have donated a lot of the quilts here to the ARC shelter for the homeless. They did 18 of them all together. And they're always kind of nice to leave the stuff there. People do have a tendency to beg, borrow, and perhaps take what the supplies of other people, and that's always kind of a gets them a little bit upset. This is just again, the second floor end of the corridor called the Nagel Library. It's not really a library. There's a couple computer terminals there. And again, just a nice area for people to congregate. Very big on the small space area. And so again, very active to have, or very good to see people so active. And that space frequently gets used for little small floor parties, maybe card games or any of the above. Again, working the way down the corridor. There are 4 guest rooms throughout the property. It's not uncommon, even though there's a lot of space. When the families do come, again, the residents frequently will just have their family members stay at the guest rooms. There is a home health office. This is done with a third party. We're in the process of kind of working with them a little bit because we're not entirely happy with the way, some of the way things have been going, particularly lately with the COVID. but you'll see it's a very nice. We have a waiting area here. So residents can come down, they can wait. And then when you come inside, there is kind of a nursing office set up here. The fax machines, the computers. We also have 2 examination rooms where the doctor can see the people here. And again, that's been a wonderful marketing to have a doctor here a couple days a week. We're, again, has come in very fortunate during the COVID to be able to have the medical services here, so we don't have to send people out to the hospital where they're going to encounter the virus. It's far better to have the doctor come here. So again, you can kind of see a sense for some of the corridors, just how long things are. Kind of another view of the dining room down below. So we're going to head up to the 3rd floor. Again, Carrington was built opened in April of last year, or April of 2018. I think West Bay took it over April of 2019. So for all intents and purposes, this month we will be celebrating our 2nd year anniversary. Heading up, again, one of 11 elevators on the campus for the 4th-story building. 3rd floor has about 900 extra square foot of activity space. Simply because we don't have that dining room area with the high vaulted ceilings. We don't have that obviously on the 3rd and 4th floor. We have a movie theater in here, which normally one of the more popular features we have. So people can come down. We've got the popcorn machine, and generally there was a movie every night here that people could come and attend. And it was one of the last things we had to shut down, just simply because it was so popular. We have another large activity space. This is kind of used sometimes for private events, private parties. Again, nice room, good space. It's got the sink in the corner, and pretty much ideal for, as we said, for any type of activities, small dinner parties and things like that. This is the game room, one of the game rooms. Kind of see the ping pong table. Again, just hang on. Nice to have some of the running water. And this is also used for like resident council meetings, etc. The building was not designed with trash chutes, which was a huge problem early on, is that people kind of put the trash out whenever they wanted to. So we'd be walking with marketing tours and things like that. I did initiate a trash on the 8s. After 8 o'clock at night, people are able to put the trash out, and overnight the security guard will come by and he'll handle all the trash pickups. Again, every floor, different color scheme. And this is the third floor, the Life Enrichment Activity Office, which, if you remember, I said would be moving down to the first floor, the marketing space. We want to bring that fun down to the lobby, and we think finding that individual easier to get a hold of, it will really, we hope it's going to energize that entire space. Another library. Some of the different space. All right, we're going to go in now and hit some of the models. 3468. So this one has the balcony. You kind of see the appliances, nice bright setup. The dark floors offset by the white cabinets. And it has the dishwasher. We do have the built-in washer and dryers. These things are perhaps a little bit too space age for the seniors to use, but nevertheless, it's nice that they're in here. And even if the seniors can't use them, the staff will come in and operate for them. Again, restroom, somewhat nice design. We got the table set up. We try to do all these things obviously for the model. That building in the background is our assisted living building. We got the TV. One of the more interesting features that I think the property was able to capture is right here. This is the closet. Most of us have two levels there, like over here. And so it's able to hang the clothes. This kind of is a nice solution. At night, if you need to use the restroom, you don't want to have to walk all the way around. You can cut right through here. Most of the time, if you're living by yourself, you just you're leaving the door open. So again, it's not that much of a deal. If you do have company coming over, you close the door. We do have the pull cord system here in independent living as well. So there you have it. That's a one bedroom, kind of our basic unit with the balcony, and that's been probably, I think, our most popular, or second most popular unit. That's empty. Another model. So this one coming in, you've got the washer dryer. This would be the studio. So you can kind of see it's a little compact space here, but you still have, the island's a little bit smaller. You don't have that extra bank. The dishwasher comes right out to the end. Got the dark cabinets. You still have the restroom with the access off the kitchen, and then some of the access to the bedroom as well. So again, even though it's a studio, which traditionally you wouldn't necessarily have a door, we do this primarily for marketing purposes. When other places say, here's our studio, and it's just a room about the size of this room with maybe a day couch in there, and then we come in here, we say, oh, here's the bedroom. It kind of Again, very different approach. We're not, yeah, it's a little bit smaller than the rest of the units, but when the studios are compared from property to property, this one stacks up very favorably. So again, just a nice model. And then finally, this one's got a little bit of the wow factor, just simply because it's big. You come in here with the kitchen, lots of cabinet space, nice side appliance. You've got the island as well. And so as you can see, from a kitchen point of view, very, very big. We are pet friendly. You've got just a very nice size living room area. And then bedroom number one. You can see this is a little different type of closet. It has the space and the laundry. And it's got the other closet to the right. And then on the other side, the washer dryer. I'm sorry about that. We've got the other bathroom. And then the second bedroom, which can also be used obviously as a den, sleeping room, and also has pretty good sized closet. And just another perspective of that AL memory care. Goes all the way down to that white building. You can kind of see the windows off 1, 2, and the third wing. So again, these are the independent living model apartments.